I should be having some water. Maybe I should get some water from the house. And then we can start, right? Because I'm thirsty. Or I can take a break and go get water. Whichever comes first. Now, they talk about the wheels of change. So when you hear about the wheels of change, what are we talking about? So you can ask Google to tell you what a wheel of change is, or we can talk about it. Define wheel of change. Sasa siuongee. So it's saying that a wheel of change is a model. You know, now for this word, they have to give it context. That it's a model that helps people access their skills and behaviors to plan their personal development. That is what Google is telling you. So Google is telling you that the wheel of change is a model, because we are talking about this world. It's a model that helps people access their skills and behaviors to plan their personal development. Now, it continues and tells you that it was created by award-winning coach Marshall Goldsmith and is featured in his book Triggers. So this guy has a book, okay? This guy has written a book, and his book is called Triggers. Triggers. Welcome to the real world now, okay? Triggers. Now, he's an award-winning coach. He has a book called Triggers. He's an award-winning coach. He has a book called Triggers. And he created, you see, this award-winning coach created something, and it is featured in his book. So that's his Bible. I said, when you go to Google right now, and you Google the word wheel of change, the wheel of change will be defined as a model that helps people access their skills and behaviors to plan their personal development. And it was created, the person who created the wheel of change. Remember, language is created. Signs, symbols, symbolism. That, for example, you don't have to be told to cross a river. But you know, in one way, shape, or another, you are going to create a cross to cross that river, aka you are going to build a bridge, something to get you over. And that ability to get you over means you have to cross over. So you can create a crucifix, you can create a cross out of anything. The energy of the crossing. So the cross does not just represent the religion. You can use a cross anywhere. You can cross, you can come to a cross section in a road. Okay? You can come across someone. So even when you come across something, today I came across Kangede. Know that you have not been connected for some time. So that there was a bridging of time for you to connect, or there was a bridging of some circumstance that allowed you to meet. Maybe mlikuwa umeenda voting season, venye mnaendanga kuvote, mnakutana na wale watu mulimea nao mashule. Okay? Those are crossing moments. Now, that is the wheel of change according to Google. keyword according to Google, okay? Tumetoka ya Google. Si mmeona it is even telling you who created it. It was created by award-winning coach Marshall Goldsmith and is featured in his book Triggers. So this Goldsmith has written a book called Triggers. And in that Triggers, he has featured the Wheel of Change as a model that helps people access their skills and behaviors to plan their personal development. The washing. If you go beyond inakwambia, the Wheel of Change illustrates the interchange of two dimensions that we need to sort out before we can become the person we want to be. So when you're going through the Wheel of Change, this is illustrated as the interchange of two dimensions that we need to sort out before we can become the person we want to be. That's according to Google. Okay? That's Google's interpretation. Since you are Google scholars, we had to start with Google. Sasa, tutoke kwa Google. Google. Now, in the real world, we look at energy. When we are communicating, we look at energy, aka, no matter what I'm saying, my energy can tell you whether I'm coming harmonious, aka in peace, or whether I'm coming chaotic, aka with friction. So there could be friction of fists, there could be friction of ideas, conflict. Now it has become a conflict. Now we need weapons. Now we need to see who has the biggest sword. Now we need to see who can drop the most flags na vitu kama hizo. Now, when we are looking at the energy, that's what we call the winds of change. So, when you look at the storms, aka, I can create a storm here. They came storming in as an energy. Then you see the fire. Okay? Then you have to look at the other elements. So once you see the storms, the fire, know there is coming the water, because we are going through a winds of change. I told you, in a shift. So as the shift is happening, that's the winds of change. So a lot of things are going through the storms, transformation. So this will be in all elements. So now we have the fires. So there will be the water, okay, the emotions, something to create a lot of emotions. The fire has happened. Now we are going to have the waters, emotions, okay. So maybe something at sea, or something that makes you very emotional. So they are about to do something that is going to make you go get tested again for something new that's coming. The emotions now, the waters now, the waters. So as you are going to test, now you get it. So they are going to create a scenario where you need to go get tested, and the testing is now where you get it. So when you're looking at the wheels of change, you start with the fires, we go with the waters, the air element, then the earth. Something has to be made practical. Yes? Yeah. Yes. Okay. But that change now is the rebirth for expansion to happen, or what you call accessions to be expanded now. Bigger minds. Now you'll be more aware. For some, it will be more awareness onto reality that maybe you can wake up one day and you have nothing, and the thing that you thought would be your safety net, aka insurance, backed out on you. So you are left hanging, and then you are given $700 as compensation. What a beautiful world. Gotta respect the people who drop the biggest swords. The biggest swords. The ones who's still fighting up to date on land. Up to date. But you can't see it because now it's all about who's trading more on that land. So these are the people who will be owning the money while you get the breadcrumbs. Now, shout out to everyone in the comments. Welcome to Wednesday, Mercury. Shout out to High Priestess Albalabantera. And shout out to the subconscious community too. Now, I like your stories, I love the stories you come with. Like, I like when we're having conversations, or I'm having conversations with myself, okay? And I see what you call complex trauma affecting your relationship. So there's trauma, and then there's complex trauma. There's some weight to it. It's complex. You have abandonment issues. You have trust issues in your relationships. So when you're in a relationship, instead of feeling safe in that relationship, instead of feeling satisfied or nourished, your cup's filled in that relationship, it's usually the opposite. You feel unsafe in that relationship. You feel skeptical, ish. You feel ish. You feel like ni kama niko kwa ndoa, ni kama siko kwa ndoa. You feel unsafe. You feel unsure. You are skeptical. Wacha nione kwenye tutafika. Wacha nione kwenye tutafika. Okay? So when you're out there, tuseme uko na mabeste, even when you're with your friends, nuko na wao, you question kama walikuwa wataka kukua na wewe. You're like, walikuwa tukue kweli, tumetoka mahali, walikuwa wataka tukue pamoja kweli. You even question whether you are supposed to be there. all the time in your mind. Okay? You are thinking, does she love me? Does he love me? Those are the questions you ask yourself. You crave intimacy. But at the same time, you push it away. At the same time, you fear intimacy. You can't be open. So you sabotage your relationships. Because deep down inside, you don't feel worthy of a loving relationship. So ni wewe, it's you. You have abandonment issues you are not dealing with. No. Shadow work. You know you are abandoned as a child. You know the story. You know the story in your family. You have heard it. You are an abandoned baby. You had been abandoned by your mother. You had been abandoned by your father. They had left you behind. So you developed trust issues because your parents could leave you behind. Okay? Those are some shadows you need to deal with. Because you will never be nourished in a relationship. You will always feel unsafe. Hata ufanye nini, upewe nini. You will always doubt if people love you. Even if someone loves you, you will always doubt it. So utakuwa unaharibu relationship zako mingi sana. Very good relationship. You self-sabotage because you don't feel like you're worthy of loving. Because you are abandoned as a child. You are left with your father. Or you are left with your mother. Akule. Single parent. Children. Ini yenyu. Karif Kairo, kuja hapa. You have abandonment issues. You have trust issues. People cannot trust you. Son of Wambui. Karif. You see, instead of feeling safe, instead of feeling nourished in your relationships, you feel unsafe. Unawekwa handcuffs. You are skeptical. Tunaonga ni Mungu, tunaomba kutakuwa with your support. You question if your friends wants to be with you. Now watu wanaona messages ina leak huku nje. You question whether your real partner loves you. Sasa everybody is questioning what is his deal with these girls. Ni nini sasa? You might crave intimacy. Tumakuanga tumudomo tutakuonanga tu kiss tumsichana. You know? At the same time, you fear it. You don't know even which girl now you want, or you push it away. Who knows? You're sabotaging your relationships. But deep down inside, you don't feel worthy of a loving relationship. So you inaitangwa self-sabotage. You see business rivalry. People are crashing. That is how you can see someone crashing. For you, it's business. No, it's not business. He doesn't feel worthy of a loving relationship. Akona abandonment issues. Akona trust issues. The moment you see it, you're like, najua ni nini nasumbua Cairo. Son of Wabui, go and heal. Or you find you're a people pleaser. Because you are feeling or thinking that you'll be told no. So you're afraid. So become a people pleaser. So you betray yourself. So you accept behaviors that are unhealthy. dysfunctional. Okay? Complex traumas, you know, we're talking of, they are complex. You don't see them. When you are feeling awkward, when you are feeling uncomfortable, when you want to express yourself, you want to say something to your father, you want to say something to your mother, but you feel awkward. You feel uncomfortable communicating to your parents about some things because you know of how they will respond and make you feel. So you feel awkward. You feel uncomfortable. You're discussing complex trauma. You can't express yourself in front of your father up to date or your mother freely. Complex trauma. You cannot express yourself. You cannot talk about your emotions. AKA, you cannot ask for help, even from your parents. Okay? Because that means you are being vulnerable. And for you to be vulnerable is overwhelming. Woo! You can never be vulnerable. You can never be vulnerable. That's terror to you, to be vulnerable. Even to your parents, even to your loved ones. Some of you can't. Because when you are growing up, you used to be constantly shamed as a child. You used to be rejected. You don't even know where it's coming from. But every time you feel awkward expressing yourself, every time you feel uncomfortable expressing yourself, complex trauma, there are places where when you are being raised up, you are being shamed, you are being rejected, or removed or isolated from love in childhood, meaning your childhood lacked love. So you learn to shut down. Okay? So you shut yourself from expecting a safe relationship with anyone because from a child you are rejected. So it's nowhere even near your awareness that that can happen. So you don't open up to people. You are everything you keep to yourself. Because if you are to open yourself to people, that is dangerous. You cannot open up to people. For you, it's too dangerous. It's too terrifying. Because you've never been met with acceptance. So even as a child, you are never accepted. So even as a grown man or woman, you cannot open up. Because that's too dangerous. You have never been accepted. From a young child, you don't even know where it's coming from. You may not even know it until now you hear it. You're like, wait a minute. That's why I cannot even express myself. That's why I've wanted or I've had so much to say, but I have lacked the minds to. So that is what it means when I feel I have so much to say, but can't say it because of what will my mother think or my father. Complex trauma. That's how you see it. You're like, oh, okay, now I know. Now I know. This can only come from a position of being rejected as a child. This can only come from a position where as a child you are continuously shamed. Unajua wewe si mtoto hapa. Unajua wewe si wa hapa. Unajua mimi sio babako. Unajua mimi sio babako. Unajua mimi sio mamako. Unajua mimi si mamako. So you grew up listening to that. That's complex trauma. That's why it feels awkward for you to open up. Because opening up for you is dangerous. You've never been met with love. You grew up listening to that kind of talk. Wewe si mtoto wa hapa, wewe si mtoto wa hapa, wewe si mtoto wa hapa, wewe si wa huyo mama, wewe si wa huyo mama. So consistent shaming, aka rejection, or being isolated from love as a child because you are constantly reminded you came with your mother, you came with your father. Okay? Aliolewa na huyo mtoto. You have heard it. Mamako aliolewa na wewe. Wewe waoka na nyukwa we. Wewe waoka na nyukwa. Wewe waoka na nyukwa. Gado we okire na nyukwa we. Dowe ne kuigua igua. Dowe okire na nyukwa. Okire na nyukwa we. No igua. Okire na nyukwa. You have had it in your homes. You have had it with your fathers. You have heard your father say it. All those generational traumas, all those generational curses that you do not acknowledge. Yet, all that is what you are going through now. That's your generational curse. Inakufikia. You have to listen. It's present in your homes. Ulikuja na mamako. Ulikuja na babako. Child rejection. You are being shamed every day. So, eventually, you shut down. You shut down from everything. You stop expecting any safe relationships with anyone. Because if it is starting at home, nani atakupenda huko nje kama upendwi nyumbani? So you never open up. So even in public, even now, most of you miss promotions at work because you cannot express yourself freely. You feel awkward or uncomfortable to express yourself, to express your gifts and talent, even in your places of work. Because complex trauma. So heal, bitch. Do some shadow work. Do some self-acceptance. Start giving yourself more love. Heal that child that was rejected. Go to that spa. Join a dance club. Open your hips. Release trauma. The best way you know how. Then there's this other group of niggas. The controlling niggas on this side. Okay? These are the controlling types. Complex trauma pia. Okay? Because the more controlling uwezi enda nje, you cannot go out. When bibia nani uende out, bibia nani aende out. Nani amekufunza? Nani amekufunza kuenda out? Ate uthi out. Out ine kuga atea. Mogithi neke. Adoge sanoka mogithi. Mogithi gutware haria museum roundabout. Gori hera Kenya Railway museum. Wona mogithi ginyare ya tene ginyare ya togaga wiganie migithi. Ukakonjera mogithi. Ino ti YouTube haha. Ndwikire YouTube mogithi. Adoge sonoka. So these are the controlling type. Wamejaa huku. Ati huyo ni bibi. Ai, ati tumia thimu mugithi. Athi wow. No ni urenda guthie mugithi. No mukaguo ndangithie mugithi. Lakini unataka kuenda, si ndio? Bibi yako asiende, wewe uende. But pia huko unataka upate wa mama, si ndio? Mugithi bila wa mama itakuwa aje tamu. Naneke ding. Naneke getumia getuguke na matina naneke na. Without women it will be no fun. So we need the women to be screaming. One man the guitar. Shout out to all of them. So control is attempting some kind of safety. So you are trying to control the outcome. You are controlling the nature. But then, For you, your controlling nature may become things like criticizing how people do things. Mi spendi venye wale watu uuza maembe. Mi spendi venye mispende. Karibu itwa mispende. Kazi yako ni hiyo. Mi spendi venye watu katakata nyama yao. Mi spendi watu wenye ukusikiza mpaka wamechoka na wewe. Hakuna kitu wewe upenda. You're always criticizing how people do stuff. Hakuna kitu to you make sense. You don't let people help you also. Even when you need it, you don't let people help you. Unakataa. You don't allow it. Even when you need it. Niko sawa. Niko sawa. Niko sawa. Anoka oduka nini. Nitogo push through. Even when you need it. You don't let people help you. You're in trauma. Because shutting down or giving people the silent treatment, blaming others for your behavior, keeping score in your relationships. Mama yako alifanya. Mama yako alifanya. Mama yako alifanya. So you keep score in relationships. Mama yako alinifanyia. Mama yako alikuwa. Mama yako. Blaming others for your behavior. Kama si mama yako tungekuwa mbali. Kama si baba yako tungefanya hivi. Kama si baba yako ningekuwa ng'ambo. Kama si mama yako ungeenda hiyo shule. Kama si all those blaming others for your behaviors. There's kushindana in your relationships. Ni competition. Ni wewe ulifanya. Hata wewe ulifanya. Okay? Or you become someone who's a spy. Kazi yako ni spying. Snooping. You're always snooping into your boyfriend's phone. You're always checking behind the scenes. Unataka kuona pattern. Unataka hiyo ni trauma yako wewe. See, it has got nothing to do with your man or your woman. Hiyo ni yako wewe. Hiyo spying wako na nani? Ati alienda wapi? Ati yako wapi? Unafuata nani wewe? Wewe enda ukapone wewe. Control is an attempt at safety. Wewe ndio uko na shida wewe. Hiyo control wewe you are attempting safety. Wewe, that's your controlling nature. Na nimekuonyesha venye nakuja. You are always criticizing other people. You don't let people help you when you need help. Hiyo ni yako. Go and deal with your trauma. So when you're with someone in a relationship and they are controlling, unajua this one has got nothing to do with me. Mimi kukatazwa kuenda Mugithi shida si mimi, ni huyu. This is the one who's controlling. Huyu ndiye ana need kuheal. He's attempting some form of safety. He's trying to be safe. Okay? He's trying to blame others for his behavior. He's trying to kulipisha. Kuna mahali aliachwa. Kuna mahali aliachwa. Sasa ni kulipisha na wewe, nalipisha na wewe. Usiende out. Juu aliachwa. Pengine aliachwa out. Akapata trauma. He was dumped when they were out. Akakuta mtu wake. Ameshikilia spoiler ya Subaru. Ameshika spoiler ya Subaru. Subaru boys wana maneno. And that's how the relationship ended. So saizi anakuanga controlling. Haezi kuwa, ati uende out. Aje. Kwanza nakumbuka mwenye shiko alikuwa ameshikishwa spoiler. Na unakuja kumwambia ati uende out. Aje. Do you know the kind of trauma he has from his ex wewe? Alikuja na ujinga yake, unajua hakuwa anaona the signs, pengine hakuwa anaona the signs, he was too occupied, kazi yake ni kushinda akiwatch ball, ako lost in other things, unajua, ako lost in football, ako lost in TikTok girls, and neglect the real girl. So If push comes to shove, everybody gonna put the blame on me. Imefika ni huko sasa. Trauma. They are trying to keep score with you, keeping scores with that relationship, but it has got nothing to do with that relationship. It's from another relationship. This nigga needs to heal. This woman needs to heal. All that controlling energy, the problem is with the controller. He's trying to find some safety. Okay? Snooping. Saa zote yako kwa simu yako. All the time you are catching them with your phone. What's up with your phone? What up? They're always trying to snoop. Hey, what's your pin? Okay, change pin. Why do you keep changing the pin? No. It has got nothing to do with my pin. It has got nothing to do with my pin. You are the one who's snoopy. You are not safe. It has got nothing to do with how many pins I put, how many ticks I put, how many crosses, X, crisscross, webs, password, passfaces, fingers, thumbnail, hairs, fingerprints, toe prints, jaw prints, eye prints, eye scanning, left, right, gateways. It has got nothing to do with that. You are the one who's too snooping. Go and heal. We'll deal with the other one. Now you find yourself, now the other type now. Complex trauma, the liars. You're always lying. Or you're always leaving out important information. Why? Because when you are growing up, you used to be punished for telling the truth. Mam, sitakula yote utakula, unasema huko ni kwa utakula, unasema ufungua mdomo kula wewe, unasema utakula matomoko kaka no kugirite managu meria nyokire nyasha shadao leta fungua mdomo weka chakula bade. So as a child, you are punished for telling the truth. Maybe as a child, your stomach was full. You are full of gas. Here comes more gas. And no one is asking you, hata pengine upendi maharagwe. Walikuwa tu wanakukimira maharagwe. Ati karera wona boso. Mwana arera wona boso. Le boso icio ni nyayo. Ikira karia. Maziwa na kula maziwa na maharagwe saa hizi. Nikutambue. Itisha nyayo saa hii. Nyayo. Bean saizi kima nyayo bean saizi, ukule na ukunywe maziwa, utashinda peke yako. Ile kushuta utashuta my friend, na ulikuwa unapewa ukiwa mtoto. So you are trying to reject, umeshikwa, ulianza trauma. Ulianza trauma mapema. You are punished for telling the truth. So you started lying. Now you are learning to lie from a young age. Okay? So, to avoid sharing everything so that you can be safe. So, inafika mahali, your lies are meaningless. Like, you just tell a lie for no reason. It has got nothing to do with the conversation. It's just a meaningless lie. Like, it's... Why would you lie? Like, those kind of worlds. I'm not in those worlds, but I know about those worlds. Okay? I have Gemini friends. When I'm listening to them and they are talking and I hear how much the Geminis listen, to the point they are asking people, or this, even their conversation is like, Richie, listen, this lying retro habitual on that side of lying. So it becomes habitual. You lie about retro things. You don't even know why you do that. But now you know that the reason you lie so much is because lies is related to shame. behavior. So there was a lot of shaming. You learned a lot of shaming when you are growing up. You are shamed. There was a lot of shaming energy around you as a child. You are shamed a lot. Shamed. You are shamed. I am ashamed to be your mother. I am ashamed to be your father. I am ashamed of you. I am ashamed to be called this. I am ashamed of you, my child. I can't believe I'm ashamed to be your father. I can't believe I'm ashamed to be your mother. I can't believe you are doing it. I'm so ashamed that you are doing this to us. I am so ashamed that you have refused to go to that school. I'm so ashamed that you are going to marry that woman. I'm so ashamed that you want to go and build that house. I'm so ashamed that you bought that small car. I'm so ashamed that you have not built us a house. I'm not. So now in real life, you lie. Or important that was very important, information that's very important, you leave out. So you're even missing out in life. You don't even progress in your places of work because there are some important information that maybe you can add to your place of work, but you leave it behind because you are ashamed growing up. That's why you lie so much for no reason. I don't know if you have encountered those people. They lie for no reason. For no particular reason, they just tell you a lie that's not even related to something. Unashinda sasa, mbona ameniambia hiyo uongo? Like, why? And I can see it miles away. I'm coming. I know you are not coming. I already know. So, and I already know the problem ni wewe. You are the one who needs to deal with that. You are ashamed when you are growing up. Richard Wanjiru. Okay? Reflections. 905. 14. 5. Anger issues that you carry around. Na unashindwa ukiambia mtu, mimi nakasirikanga sana. Mimi ni yule mtu wa hasira. Mimi nakasirikanga sana. I get very angry. You even say it. You have anger issues. You tell people proudly, I get very angry. I easily get annoyed. What? Anger. That's your escape for you. But underneath anger is sadness, grief. So you are grieving the loss of your childhood, your sense of safety. See, your childhood is your sense of safety. As a child, that is when you have the ability to feel good about who you are. You are a child. You know, when you are a child is when you have the ability to feel good about who you are. And that's hard in this world because you try so much to be validated or to fit in. So now you are angry at yourself because this anger comes out with people who are very close to you. So this will happen in close relationships. So this will be like your spouse. This will be like the people you are very close to. Mother, father, okay? Or relationship that you have with yourselves. But all that anger is just grief. It's just sadness. Because somewhere your childhood was lost. As a child, your sense of safety was not there. As a child, you didn't grow up in safety as a child. You lacked the ability to feel good about who you are. So as a child, you lacked that ability to feel good about who you are. So you are always angry. Even now as an adult, you are always angry. Nakasirikanga sana. Nakuanga na hasira sana. Jigua de murakaru muno. Ndakaraga muno riria ndirona. Jigua de na marakara. You speak it, but you don't know where it's coming from. Now you know. Those are complex traumas. Or you always take everything now. Mtu akikuja kwako, everything now you take personally. Now everything is personal. Nimepiga simu hajachukua. Hawezi nichukulia simu. Nimejua hawezi nichukulia simu. Nijua kumenya dagejo erathi. Hawezi nichukulia simu. Everything now is personal. Anything that is happening you think is about you now. Everything is about you. Everything that happens around you, it means something about who you are. But then you forget that people's behavior are mostly a reflection of them. That's how they feel about themselves. It has got nothing to do with you. Anyone you interact with, their behavior is mostly a reflection of how they feel about themselves. Not you. But for you, even a small incident, now you are ashamed. Now you are questioning your worth. At now, you see on Twitter that a man has he unalived himself because a picture of him naked in his car leaked. That was too much for him. No, you are taking things too seriously, bana. Hey, me, I'll drive naked. If I'm having a hard-on, my hard-on will be on the steering wheel with my safety belts, with no shirt. Okay, I'll be using my hard-on to turn the steering wheel. Me, I will drive naked and I will feel nothing. If you take pictures, that's on you. If that was what was on my mind, nothing can stop me. You have to stop believing that everything that is happening around you means something about you. It has got nothing to do with you. People's behavior is a reflection of how they feel about themselves. It's not about me. How can a small thing destroy you? A small thing sends you into a spiral of shame to the point now sasa umeisha sasa. So when you look at your life and you realize you take things too serious, kila kitu wameweka bump hapa, hapana. Wanaweka sasa, wanawekaje bump hapa sasa, Mungu moja sasa, hapa nitakuwa napita aje? Na vile gari yangu ilikuwa inaruka mzuri hapa. Hapana, I have to go to Sivo. No, wewe kugia bump. Sivo, you take things too personal wewe. Chill bana, wewe. Uishi peke yako. Hata kama haiko kufurahisha, acha tu nayo. You know. Unaenda kwa chief, the next day unakuta hata ni Kenha wameweka. Kenha ndio wameweka sasa. And you are taking things too personal. Hapana. Sawe. Atora nyuete mai mato ate abe. Go tigai too personal. Aya. Nilikuwa nakunywa maji ya bure. Umekuja umeniwekea mita. Ever since nimewekewa mita air kwako sasa wewe ukuangi hata na maji. Hata ukuangi na maji sasa. Sasa ona sasa. Maji kwako haifikangi, kunanga pressure. Ungeacha mimi nikunywe maji ya bure. You take things too personal. As an example. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I like imagining worlds where what I speak becomes, aka I could buy a place, a home, and I have free water. Because it would exist a position where my neighbor would have to be someone who would overlook the fact that I have free running water, not metered. Unajua? And they'll be okay because they don't take things too personal. I mean, I'm creating my own world, you know. Naongea kitu initoke venye ile dunia mimi naweza taka ni dunia kama hiyo. Ni dunia people are minding their own business. Okay? because they understand you're living on different planes. Unajua? And that's also a beautiful world. You should all want a beautiful world like that. A beautiful world where we don't have to pay for water. Once umewekewa ni hivyo, that's the end. Why do you have to keep being unalipishwa nini na ni water element ni free? Unafaa tu kulipishwa kuwekewa pipe, ni hivyo. Ikiharibika unachajiwa, story inaendelea. Haifai kuwa business, lakini hamwezi ona hivyo nyinyi. Unajua? It's water. It's water, okay? It's free in the ground. Na haiwezi isha. We live in a water cycle. Hata ukienda shule walikuwa nakwambia we live in a water cycle. Rain, precipitation, rivers, mountains, waterfall, mountain, rivers, back to the sea. Rain, precipitation. Sasa unatuambia maji itaisha aje wewe? Wacha kubeba watu hivyo wewe. Chani kubeba watu hivyo wewe. Chani kufunza watu hivyo. Wacha kufunga watu akili. Mental shackles. You cannot run out of water. You cannot. The world is a water cycle. Mulitufunza nyinyi GHC. Mulituonyesha precipitation, rain, mountain, river, sea, evaporation, condensation, precipitation, rain, river, sea, evaporation, condensation, precipitation, rain. Mulitufunza hiyo biology. Wapi mnatuambia maji inaisha aje wewe? Chani kutubeba ufala. Kuna mahali maji inaisha. Water should be free. Water conditions. Wapi? Ulisikia wapi wewe? It's a water cycle. A sphere. A system. A weather. Sawa? Stop taking things too personal. Okay? Ukiona mtu ajalipishwa matatu, shut up. Wewe conductor, huyu ajalipa. Wewe ni nini na kukula wewe? Wewe umelipa wewe bado lipa deni yako. Huyu hana deni. Si nyinyi mnasemanga kanisa mtu amelipiwa madeni yake. Huyu hana deni, ashalipiwa kanisa deni. Acha kumstaki. Okay. If you want to be a real Christian, mind your own business. Si wewe unasemanga kuna malaika, pengine huyu ni malaika alipagi gari. Sasa kwani uamini tena malaika? Ama ana mabawa? Ama si mzungu? Ama malaika ni mzungu na mabawa Hakuna malaika. Huyu ni malaika, wacha asilipe matatu ama gari bana. Leave them alone. Don't take things too personal. Okay? Ama uko na ugonjwa wa overgiving na wewe. Wewe kazi yako ni caretaker. The caretakers of your entire lives. You are the caretakers. But no one has ever met your needs. So you give. Arudishangi mkono. Wewe kazi yako ni kutoa tu. Hakuna mtu anarudisha mkono. You give to the people. They don't reciprocate. Or they are going to take advantage of you in one way, shape, or another. But the way you know you're overgiving in a relationship is when you start feeling resentful. Hapa sasa unajua, nimekuwa caretaker maisha yangu yote, but no one is meeting my needs. So unajua hizo relationship. You are the caretaker for all your lives. Una take care of everyone in the family. Kila mtu, lakini hakuna mtu anakulizanga, "Gathe, uko aje?" Hakuna mtu anakulizanga even once, "Uko aje?" Hakuna mtu anakuuliza uko aje wewe msichana. But kila kitu kwenye ni wewe. Babako, mamako, brother sako, sister, everybody is eating from you. No one asks you, "Are you okay?" You take care of everything, every business. Ng'ombe ni we gicagi, ngũkũ ni we thibitari, mũthĩa arora maũndũ ma mũgũnda, mena cira, everything is you. Everything ni nakuanga ni wewe. Hakuna mtu ashai kuja kuuliza kama uko sawa. Naona za to ask boss, kwa aje? Unaendelea aje? No one. Wewe umebeba mzigo wa familia peke yako. You have to heal from that. That's a lot of trauma. Complex. Huwezi iona. But someone should ask you if you are okay. Modo moti bogo. Let me see. Modo moti bogo. So, hizo zote ni trauma. Mani hata kukataa kulipa nyumba. Mani lipa nyumba. For now, hiyo dunia hatuwezi bishana nayo. Watu washajukua Githaka. Huyo alikosana na challenge ya kuchange sim password. Alichapua kibara. Akaona 50 cents. Ati Madam Snoop Dogg. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Sikuwa nimeangalia chat. Nimeona kulikuwa mpiga story sana. Hizo zote ni toxic traumas. Okay? Hizo ni toxic traumas. Na huwezi ziona. You don't just see them until someone reminds you. So when you're reminded, you're like, wait, I actually do that. I am actually carrying the weight of everything. Najua. You can see all that weight is on you. Shule ni wewe. Sister yako akizaa unajuanga tu, oh shit, here comes another one. Na hata unajaribu kuambia sister yako, tia gusiara maunegake kana isi ingine sikuremete. Sister yako nani? Anazaa bado, si anajua utalea wewe. Si umewabeba familia. Sasa utakosa kulea mwingine kwa nini bado sister yako anapigwa miti? Sasa sister yako atakosa aje kupigwa miti na ako lesbian? If someone is not busy working, they are busy fucking. Haikuangi na any other option. That is why unafaa kuangalia na examples. For example, ukiona mtu anacheza basketball, very good at basketball, ati kazi yake ni kuweka hizo basketball, cha, ujue pia he has a small dick syndrome. Huyo ni mtu hata akuli bibi yake. Because the amount of time he's spending on the basketball is the amount of time he should be spending na demu yake. Because as a man, he's also sleeping like you. He has a routine just like you. So the more time he has to be practicing that basketball akue that good, means the less time he has to be fucking his bitch. But that's not the issue. The issue is he has a small dick. So he takes that energy elsewhere. Okay? Na kuanga ni hivyo. No other way around. Because there's no way utakuwa na more time than the other man to be practicing hardest, or on your mind you are thinking more about the coach. Na venye amekucoach, na venye mtacheza game, na venye utaenda. So all that amount of time means you're not giving to the feminine. And probably hata tukiona mtoto wako tunajuanga pengine mtoto hata mmemjaribu sana. You are almost even giving up kupata mtoto. Because you don't even have time for your woman. Okay? Tunajua kuangalia vitu sisi. Okay? My friend of a single needs to heal. Kuteta. That's all I need to complex trauma. Uweze tuona. Unatuonanga sasa ukisikiza. Unasikia unasema, aya, wait a minute. Haya, sikuwa nimeiona hivyo. Au kumeiona hivyo? Wacha mama aende Mugithi wewe. Kwani nini ita happen Mugithi? Wewe unashindanga Mugithi. Umekula nani? Hiyo usenge yako yote unashindanga Mugithi. Umekula nani? You don't even have the guts to approach a woman. Wanaga tu mugithi kuchukua tu video twa kupost, lakini hata hujai kula mtu hata hiyo mugithi. Sasa insecurity zako ndio wewe umekuwa mugithi, hujai kula mtu. Si uniambia hapa umekula mtu mugithi. Uoga mingi yenye uko nayo, zile trauma zote uko nazo. Mugithi unaendanga hujai kula. Ene thia mugithi, mugithi ngigitira te gukona tu mundu urwaria kama mundu mugithi. Ndoke utuheni haha tugo kugurira andu njohi na kumana tunamba twa thimu. Ni nini wewe? Wacha watu waende mugithi, wacha ukataza demu yako ende mugithi. Kama anapenda mugithi kuenda fan, hata enda umdrop. Babe, gugire thaa cigana? Thaa kenda niguo mugithi uko shikite. Sawa, thirithate gukorwo ha, muwacha mugithi, enda home ama bola ama enda ulale. Set alarm, amka saa 8, endea mtu wako. Umukorage tips hau uguo na kahuisikia kwiraga babe karahetia ngari babe gai ndathi ndaigira ngari ingitamaka nginya ni nguhititie ngari hena kimundu kina ngari na ito babe hingurira murango babe ukamuhingurira murango ukamwira kimundu kiu na taru no kono ngari yake ni ukomba gikombete ino ito ndiri thiri ni yakashingira ukamuigira tu drinks hau na mukainuka. You can't, you are too traumatized, you are too controlling. Ukainuka kwiraga magaisa midu gitunanitio muthi ukamaye ukunanagia ati akwa magaire tukinye nyumba kwanza nyambe nguoke kimuti kiu uturia samido atwira, and you're having fun. Akidi trauma zenyu haziwezi wakubalisha, yet that is what you'd wish in your mind. Those are the pictures you have in your mind. Your fantasy would be you driving and you're being given head. You can be getting head from your girl. Ala kiare kiwe ama bibi hawezi kula mjuluzi yako mkienda kwa gari. Ni tabia mbaya. Ama huyo ni bibi au huyo ni bibi? Oh, kuna difference ama kunaenda aje? Wewe stop being too controlling. Wewe let loose, pona. Sawa trauma tu complex, uwezi tuona, tuko kila mahali tumejificha, tutoe. Sawa, upone. Shout out to everyone in the comments. Situendi live, ndio kuna swali. Shout out to hii hata ijanionyesha kwenye mumelike. Nimeona kuna 33 viewers, sioni likes. Sijui kama mumelike. Naona sijui ni ngapi. Okay, shout out to, unajua nilikuwa nataka kuangalia likes ndio niwaambia hakuna kitu mumelike. Hata azionyeshi. Sasa sijui kulienda. Ni kama TikTok wamechange rules. I don't know how many likes now you have liked. Wali change, siwezi ona. That is very wrong. Watu wanaweza kulike 10 times too. Or 15k. Oh. Nasema na pride, ni kama ni kitu niko na pride sana. Inafaa kuwa 30,000 to 15k. Ni kama ni mingi. I deserve 100,000. Okay? Wanafikiria ati sasa nitasikia ati 50 ati nistuki ati 15. Hiyo sasa hizo ni likes za kufurahisha. Likes ni 100,000. Hey. We. Chema cha jiuza. Me I know what I deserve. Hey. Hai. Tia 15k. Kubali 15k. We give me my flowers wewe. Watume gift pia. Ati mnangojea sasa ati siku ya kukufa mprint t-shirt zangu za nani? Don't try that thing. Nunua mti panda. If you ever hear I'm dead, whichever the time will be, don't print a t-shirt, plant a tree. That's the best gift you can give me. Plant a tree in my honor. Planting this tree for this store as energy. Dang. Wherever you are, we keep going. Usinijaribu kunichangia. Kama ni kunichangia unichangie saa hizi. Kama ni gift ni saa hizi. Nyef. Ningoje ukufe. Nani? Me, I'll get cremated. Don't waste your time. I'll get cremated immediately. There'll be no post problems, nothing. Cremation direct. Pa! With instructions for my ashes. Kuna mimi hamtakuja kuweka hema. Mimi sitawasumbua timuweke hema, sijui darama, agasa hii kitabu. Hapana, just buy a 3. Hiyo 500 ungeleta huko ati kitabu, ati sijui committee. Nunua mti panda. Wherever you are. Keep going. Taurus energy. Give back to Gaia. Mother Earth. Maneno inaenda tukiendanga. Hiyo ndio kurudisha mchanga yangu. Kuja ati umekuja kurudisha mchanga wapi? Shimo gani? Tunafanya hiyo kazi ngumu ya kuchimba chini tena. A lot of kazi hiyo. Timutoe ati nani anafufuka tena kwa mwili anataka majivu. Mimi sirudi kwa majivu. Mimi I get back to the ashes. Me I'm growing my wings. You burn me, I become wind. The next time you inhale me, I'm living inside you, inside your cells, inside your minds. Like just minds. You only experience me as a mind state. You inhale me, I'm living in your veins, like a world, a mind state. Minds, that's my world. Your whole being becomes my world now. Now you're sharing minds, mind spaces. Okay? Minds within minds. Or the mind without physical bodies. Hey, Muhu, unirudishe kwa Muhu tena ati wewe. Ati ufufuo nani? Afufuo mimi kwa ninakufa. Me I'm not dying. I'm only transforming. Tumesema aje? Mumefikisha ngapi like sasa? Nione ama niende live ama nitoke hapa. Hebu anikeni tena na hiyo parade ati 15k. Muone nikitoka. Amtaki kuandika sasa. Oh my god. Andika, si tumesema ni maneno ya shaming ni trauma. Usikuwe na trauma, andika. Hiyo iko ni hiyo. Kama ni 15 ni hiyo. Utakuja hapa kupona afu unaogopa kupona. We're almost there. Shout out to everyone tapping the screen. Shout out to everyone hitting the screen. You know, follow my top gifters up here. Follow my top gifter up here. Tap the gifter. Tap waja wa magiri. Naanga hizo vitu hata sijui zinafanyango aje. At 17k. Hapana. Mani, nirudishwe tu huku. Huku hujakatazwa kurudi. Ukitaka kurudi, rudi hapa. This is a beautiful world. But make sure you incarnate into higher minds. You become wenye ubebwa, shofa, unafunguliangwa mlango. That's a beautiful world. You know how beautiful that is. Hata ujui wangu utakula nini. Unakuja unakuuliza so what's for dinner? Kwanza ni kuambiwa, unakujanga unaambiwa na ni kwako, unakuja unaambiwa dinner, unaambiwa for dinner we prepared shopping your faracha we it's a recipe from Bagataka. We also prepared and we also this one goes with the taka. We got the wine from Spain to go with the taka. Unasikia amesema I'll go with the first one. Nani kwake ametengenezewa recipes. That's a beautiful world. Nani hawezi penda dunia kama hiyo? Sasa wewe ni lazima ukatoka. Wewe ndio uende soko. Sisemi ni mbaya, but kuna food chains zingine pia ni poa. Wewe ujuangi tu. Wewe unaleta yangu tu. The dinner has been set. How was dinner? It was lovely. It was lovely. I enjoyed my dinner. That's a beautiful world. Come to that world. If you're incarnating into that world, that's a beautiful world. There's nothing wrong with that world. A world of private jets. Tuko na yacht. Yani wewe uko na yacht. Wewe uko na ati you fly private. Ati Desiri atiriri. Tuguthukira ji kiria Central Africa. Thingio na murata uria wakwa twendagia nake mahiga. Unapigia mama na kuja mnaingia ka private jet. Mnaenda kukula lunch Kongo, ukimitu watu wa mawe huko na madini. Mkimaliza mnarudi. That's a beautiful world. Flying first class is a beautiful world. Ask me about it. Ukishuka pale umengojewa na chauffeur. Hiyo gari ukiland, Turkish Airlines ukikuja kuland kwa runway, ile gari na kubeba imewashwa, because it was around January, imewashwa AC. Plane yako ikikuja kuland, the car is running, AC imewekwa, gari imecool to the right temperature. Big Mercedes van. Unashuka. Everything has been arranged. You don't even pick your bags. Kila kitu ni wao. Your luggage ishachukuliwa. Ukifika tu unaambiwa this way. Unakuja unafunguliwa van. Ikifungwa mlango hizo sliding door, pop. The right temperature. Cool on a hot afternoon. The car is cool. Jamaa anakuja anaingia anafunga mlango. Akuulizi anajua kwenye unaenda. Anajua atachukua Southern Bypass. Akienda side za Karen. Akupeleke home. It's a beautiful world. Na iko hapa. Kuna watu wanaishi hivyo. Na kuna wanaishi better than that. Okay? That's a beautiful world. So create that world. Someone who understands it. Cool on hot desert Dubai weather. Unashuka Dubai hivi. Ukienda kutoka airport, unachapwa na joto inakuanga hapo ni kama blow dry. But hapo kuna magari, Lexus ndizo mataxi huko. Zimesetiwa temperature. Unaingia hiyo gari tu hivi inafungwa. Pop. Jumeirah Beach. Namwambia yes sir. Belt. Seated there. Chauffeur, shati nyeupe, tie bana. Lexus. Jumeirah Beach Hotel. Ndio destination. Man, let's get back to those worlds. Those were beautiful worlds. Now we are ready to do it the right way. Okay? Yeah, those were beautiful worlds. Sawa. Hakuna mtu amekutaza hiyo. Tutapona. Pamoja. To thrive pamoja. Si ndio? Healing together. Thriving together. Have a beautiful business Wednesday. When it comes to your trade and agreement. Make sure you have something going on. And more so, kumbuke we're in a new world. So whatever business you are doing, look at the shifting markets. Consumer patterns. Zikichange, na wewe uanguke nazo. Sawa? Uanguke nazo. Tuko na walimu hapa, tuko na walimu wa marketing hapa in the same page. So on Wednesdays we'll be talking money. So on Wednesdays we'll be having money conversations from one of the best marketing agent hapa who happens to be our moderator. So it will happen Wednesdays. So on Wednesdays we'll be talking money. Consumerisms na vitu kama hizo. Sawa? So tunaenda tukichange theme. Thursday, Jupiter expansion. We can have guests related to spirituality, and we can have those kind of conversations. As we talk of expansion, mind expansions, that is by me. Thursday, that's my day to expound on those subjects we'll be coming up with. Okay, in relation to, again, our growth. Okay, our parameters, our creating a community, our coming together. Okay, in many ways, shapes and sizes, even wherever you are, you can now learn how to create your own little community kwenye uko. So in your nyumba kumi, wherever you are, you can take a template of teaching your people how to relate better with themselves that will work for them. So, on that note, tutaachiana hapo. Friday, we'll be having Dr. Love in the show. We have conversations, then the topic will revolve around loving relationships, what love means. So wale watu wanapenda kuongea za love, that's your day. So we'll be having different themes, and all of them will revolve around business, entertainment, sports, religion, and education, but in our own new way. We'll be speaking about them in our own way, and how they can be, or how we can create, each of us can create their own way on relating about those things. Okay? That will be the theme as we prepare for the spring. When now in spring, it will be a whole show, a whole morning show that you'll be aware of the themes coming each and every day. End of the live. You're much appreciated. Tayo. Ciao, ciao. Gratitude.